Hello everyone, Ziggler here. Bork, chef, you can call me whatever you'd like. So while we're waiting on my new PC that I've just got a mail from the deliverer today that is on its way, since I can't record gameplay, I can't play and record at the same time on this PC for some reason. It doesn't really work, and I've ordered a new one. It seems like I can actually record this and stuff. So I thought, why not do it? Because this is a video that I've been wanting to see for a while, but I've been busy, so I haven't really seen it. But I mean, this is like captivating or whatever you call it. This is very interesting, and I'm pretty sure the Nixium, if you haven't followed him, make sure you do so. He makes a lot of good content, but I feel like it's going to be interesting to see what he thinks is the reason why people still love it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to agree with a lot of things, but it's really fun to see different kind of reasons why people love it. And yeah, so let's just go. Sorry. Let's go.
Guys, recently Blizzard has released the classic Fresh Realms, and you better believe that I have been playing a lot. But this recent release has left many people confused, just as confused as they were back in 2019. People are sitting there wondering, why the heck do people like this grindy version of the game so damn much? Well,
yeah, that's true. I must say, sorry for pausing, I really love the beard and the hair and everything. It's just like a Viking to me. He looks like a Viking, like ready to go out and raid. It looks so great.
Why the heck do people like this grindy version of the game so damn much? Well, in this video, I'm hoping to answer that question. The question of why do people love classic WoW so damn much?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, everybody's answer to that question, if you're a classic WoW fan, is going to be a little different.
Yeah.
But these are some of my reasons and reasons that I think that the community tends to put forward the most. So let's just geek out about some classic WoW, shall we?
Exactly.
But first, I probably should put my hair up. Before we get too deep into the video though, I have to thank Zygor, this channel's sponsor. Guys, you've been hearing me rant about them for over a year now. It is World of Warcraft's best add-on, linked down below in the description. Helps you with leveling, helps you make gold, helps you get achievements, helps you get mounts, pets, whatever you want. Zygor, it's World of Warcraft's ultimate add-on. All right, everyone knows it. Check them out, link down below in the description.
I must say, I've tried both Rested XP and Cygor, and in my opinion, I prefer Cygor. Not because of this reason, but I've tried them both, and personally, I enjoy Cygor more, just because it feels like more of a Rested XP. It pretty much says it in the title. It's more focused on to be of a leveling add-on, but Cygor is more of let's say that you want to farm a specific cloth or whatever, you can choose profession and then select the thing that you want to farm, and you can get different places to farm it. And personally, I enjoy that more. So that's just what I think about that one. Never mind. Let's continue.
1. An MMORPG. One of the things that sets classic WoW apart as a game is that it's an MMORPG. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, first of all, it's a role-playing game, meaning that the roleplay and the immersion are forefront when it comes to the game. Classes are all very unique and distinct from one another. Class quests are there to teach you more about your character's lore and background. There's even unique mechanics that make certain classes really stand out from others. Warlocks, for example, can collect soul shards from enemies that they then use to sacrifice in order to summon demons. Hunters have to raise their pets, keeping them happy with food. Warriors constantly get their asses kicked until they begin to rock face around level 30 or so. The game is meant to be a role-playing game, a game where you create a character, you fall into this world. It's full of lore, full of quests, full of opportunities to customize your character the way you want them to be customized, but it's also an MMO. What this means is that
I 100% agree. And another thing that I like about the classic one is that, sure, if you're a really hardcore player and you're playing a lot, this thing is not as an important thing, because it's well, like personally, it's because it takes longer for me to level, which means that I most likely only gonna have like one character that is like max level or whatever. It makes me feel like I'm more involved, and I'm like what should I say? Like I become like more of a like connected with my actual main, and I play on pretty much like only on that character. So that's another thing what I like about the classic WoW, because instead of like retail, it's so alt friendly, because like you're getting max level like nothing, and you can literally pretty much buy max level for gold, and I mean for real money. So it more like you're sinking more hours into your main, which personally I enjoy more. That's another reason.
Classic WoW is not a single player game, and it is not designed around the single player experience. Now, to be
Yes, and that's why I don't like retail anymore. Sure, it depends on like if you have a guild or playing with friends in retail, but it's like in retail, you're pretty much if you're playing it without knowing anyone, like let's say that you're starting on a new character on a new server on retail, it's like you pretty much talk with no one. Like if you're queuing into a dungeon, you're just gonna run the dungeon. Maybe someone is like, hi, or don't do that, or please wait, or something like that, or I don't find the way is a very common one. But it's like you're not talking with that many people in retail, in my opinion. But in classic, it's like it feels like you've a lot of the times, like let's say that you're gonna do dead mines, for example, the easiest, like it's so easy to do. You're like before you're even there, you texted each other, like the whole group, like trying to form the group and everything. It's like it's not like I couldn't really say that you know them, but since it's like on a server as well, you will most likely see this person again if they're continuing leveling and everything. Because in classic, everyone, like you could build up your own name, but if you're doing on retail, it's so many people because the server hop and the different realm layers and everything in like instance and everything. So yeah, it's so much better in classic also.
be fair, you can play classic WoW single player, questing through the world and so on and so forth, but the game will very quickly and very subtly force you into groups with other groups of people. You'll be questing and suddenly you have a group quest that you have to complete. Suddenly you'll have a quest that tells you to go into a dungeon, and at endgame, if you want to kill Ragnaros, for example, or fight Onyxia, you're going to have to find a guild, you're going to have to group up with 40 people, and you're going to have to go take on those bosses. It's a game that actively rewards you for being social. It rewards you for engaging in the multiplayer element. And that's something that's, I think, kind of lost in modern MMOs nowadays. Yes. Modern MMOs seem to have this approach of, well, let's give people the multiplayer content, but let's also give players the single player content or the single player path as well. And although that sounds good on paper, an MMORPG is a multiplayer game that's meant to be approached from a multiplayer standpoint. And so we'll talk more about this in a second, the community of Classic WoW, but we'll just leave it there for right now. The point is, unless you're playing Classic WoW Big Sweaty, the game really does feel like just an online D&D session with your friends, just making your character, exploring who they are, and just exploring this big adventure that's in front of you. And that's pretty cool. Number 2.
Exactly. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Like I'm agreeing 100% to what he said there.
Like just an online D&D, unless you're playing Classic WoW.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like in Classic WoW, it feels like sure you can play solo, but it more feels like solo is an option. And like both like playing together with someone and solo is an option. But in retail, you can pretty much do anything. You can get good gear, and you can pretty much literally gear up your character and speak with no one. But in classic, that doesn't really work. It doesn't really work that way. I mean, imagine trying to form a group for a dungeon, well, or like joining and not speaking. It's not that common, really.
In front of you, and that's pretty cool. Number 2, impactful delayed rewards. Another thing,
Instant gratification, like that is something that you have in retail now. It's like that's why I don't enjoy Season of Discovery anymore, because on level 1 you can, on Season of Discovery for example, you can go out, kill like 2 or 3 wolves in Don Moreau and sell the gray, and then you can buy every single rune, and it feels like retail. It's like you're getting it instantly. I did enjoy Season of Discovery with the runes, because you actually had to go out in the world and find it. It would be okay if they continued to do the account shared item that you could buy from the coins. That was fine. I had no problem with that. But like giving us everything ruined the whole experience with Season of Discovery. You're not discovering the runes anymore. You're just buying them. So it's like Season of runes. I don't know. Whatever.
thing that people really love about classic WoW is how rewarding the game feels even at early levels. Every completed quest moves you closer to leveling up, which means you get to go on an adventure back to your class trainer to unlock more delicious new spells. And after a while, every ding is rewarded with a new talent point, class quests, or look forward to every 10 levels for certain classes, and so on. Even the gear. The point is that leveling up in the game feels very rewarding. But even from a gear standpoint, classic WoW delivers.
Yeah, it really does. Like this is no noticeable when, like, me and my cousin is leveling a paladin warrior combo. I'm gonna make a video about this later when I get my new PC. But it's like the gear early level makes everything so much, like you could get your character to be so OP that is insane, in my opinion, compared to like if you're just leveling. I mean, if you're playing like a warrior and you get everything of the bear on level 10, it doesn't have to cost that much. Sure, if it's gonna be harder if you don't know anyone, or if you don't have someone that could borrow you some gold just so you can level up faster. But if you do, the leveling experience can be amazing in that regard. But yeah, and sure, that is like instant gratification thingy also, but you still like have to buy the thing. It's not like they're handing you everything. Like that is like optional. If you want to do that, you can like obviously level and get gear from quests and everything. It's up to you. But I've done it so many times, so that was just nice for a change.
Every time you get a new piece of gear, it really feels like something that you can feel. And it really helps that in classic WoW, the gear that you get is fewer and further between. Even before level 10, getting a new piece of gray gear with more armor attached to it feels like this huge upgrade. And your first green, dude, it's incredible. Your first blue, your first epic, come on, man. And these things are especially cool if you crafted your first greens or whatever for yourself through professions. Dungeons take longer to do, so getting a blue piece of gear feels really special, especially since not everybody is brave enough to group up and descend into the depths of Azeroth's more challenging content. Epic.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like if you're playing a caster or something and you do Shadowfang Keep and you form the group and you've traversed it through the whole thing. People have gotten like a few blues, and then you get the robe of Arugel. It's a game changer, because you will have it until like almost level 40 in some cases, I believe. And like some of those pieces are game changing, and you're gonna have them for so long.
Are limited to only the highest levels of players, with only a very few rare ones hidden in the world here and there to tease lower level players. The point is,
This is gonna
when
be
it
a long
comes to
video, though.
Classic WoW, everything feels great to be involved in because everything rewards your character in a very meaningful and impactful way. Doing your professions will award you with huge gear upgrades at times, or potions that you can use in the open world that you wouldn't normally be able to find. Grinding for more money means you can buy some upgrades on the auction house. Simple questing can award you with group gameplay, as well as sweet level ups that reward you with abilities, new talent points. Classic WoW is a game that's always rewarding you for playing it, but it's not a game that's constantly rewarding you, like a pair of keys that are jangling in front of your face. The rewards are
exactly. That's how I feel whenever I play retail now. Sorry, let's continue. My kid woke up a little bit.
Are delayed. The satisfaction of getting those rewards is increased, and it's something that players really appreciate about the game. It's one reason why, for example, Classic WoW Hardcore was so popular. I mean, you gotta think, like, it was this very big successful movement in the Classic WoW community. Players making character after character, playing as far as they can go, dying, starting again, doing it over and over, doing these starting zones repeatedly, time and time again, and people weren't getting bored of it. And I think that shows just how rewarding the Classic WoW adventure is, even at early levels. It's incredibly good game design.
It really is. Yeah, the game design is very great in World of Warcraft. Like, it's kind of insane whenever I tell this to people, when like my co-workers that is also gamers, like in the same age as me, and they like it feels so strange to say that, well, I played this game since 2007, and it's like, that's almost 20 years now. Well, it's more than 15 years, and I still play the same game, and I've done every zone so many times, and I still do it, and I still enjoy it. It's a strange thing, and I actually enjoy leveling in hardcore. The only problem is that I don't have that much time to play it, so it doesn't feel like worth playing for me personally. If I would have been able to, I don't know, like play full time or whatever, I would most likely play hardcore as well, but I'm not able to, and I most likely will never be able to. Who knows? Like, I have kids and everything, and I have a full-time job and everything. So, but yeah, the game design in Classic is amazing.
3, a simpler world.
It's amazing overall up until like Legion, in my opinion. Then it died, but it for most people it's probably earlier, but I enjoy that one. So that yeah.
It's something that everybody hates when it comes to modern MMOs, including modern World of Warcraft. This idea that you are the chosen one. You are the special champion of Azeroth. You are the savior that was promised to the world. People absolutely hate that garbage. In Classic WoW, in contrast, you are just this no-name jack-off adventurer.
Exactly.
And if you do have a name, it is a name that was given to you by the community for your accomplishments, not by Blizzard or the quests or whatever. You see, Classic...
That's what I meant with, like, you could build up your name on the server for being like helpful or a good player, or I don't know, like being friendly or whatever. That's the way that you could build up your own name, like being a renowned player on the server, rather than the like, oh, come over here, champion, and they're like teleporting you to, it's so, you're creating your own adventure.
Classic has this game design of you just being this total nobody, just making your way through the world, seeing what sort of trouble that you can get into. You're getting involved in all these adventures that the world has to offer. You're not beginning as a hero. You are not some soldier of the Alliance. You are not some warrior of the Horde. You are just some goof who found a crappy sword or a wizard staff, and you are off to try to see who you can become based on your own efforts. And even that adds to that rewarding sense that Classic WoW has. Because if you're a mage, for example, and you go into SFK and you get the robes of Arugal or something, and you're hanging out with other mages around your level who don't have the robes of Arugal, it makes you feel special.
Exactly.
Like, because you have something that they don't. You went on an adventure that they have not had yet and gotten a reward that they have not gotten to taste. And that's really cool.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like. At first, when they released Transmog, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Ooh. But then everybody started to look the same, and it's like if you play Classic, you can instantly see if it's like a MC Raider or a Nax Raider or a whatever. You can pretty much see and get a feel of what they've done.
There is no achievement book necessary in the game because your character immediately tells the story to everybody around you of who you are. Are you a casual questing adventurer, a brave dungeoneer, an epic raider, a wealthy auction house worker, you know, whatever. The simplicity of starting everybody as a blank canvas even adds to the roleplay or immersion element of the game that we were discussing earlier. Because starting as that level 1 human warrior begs the question of, who are you going to be? Are you going to be this epic tank who's going to stare down Ragnaros? A DPS who's going to be busting out big numbers for your group as you descend deep into Encourage? Or are you going to seek out the challenge of being the Grand Marshal of the Alliance? It's a feeling that Classic WoW captures with every new character made. And it's probably one reason why so many people enjoy leveling up in Classic WoW so damn much. It is a simpler world ready for you to write your story within it. It is not a story that is being handed to you or a story that you are being forced to play through. You are writing the story. It's your adventure, your experience, your world to play in. And I think that's something truly special that no other MMO has captured as well as Classic WoW has. And
and that's the thing though. Like, imagine this: if you played for like, I don't know, X amount of years. This might be different from everyone, but personally, it's like I can remember so many moments from like earlier expansions before it was like instant gratification on everything. I can remember so many runs, like, oh yeah, I remember once I did the, I don't know, Dead Mines as a mage, and we wiped on the Mr. Smith because we were making so much damage, like single target damage on Smith, so he was stunning us. So the ads killed the tank because the healer was stunned. Like, you can remember so many good memories of playing different kind of characters, like in Classic. But I don't really remember that much of like the expansions that have been a few years back. Like, I pretty much remember nothing from playing Battle for Azeroth, for example, or Shadowlands, because they were not that great, in my opinion. I don't remember. I know I played them. I know I played them a lot. But it's like, before that's why I'm saying Legion, for me, was one of the ones that I still remember a lot of things from. Maybe not as much from the Draenor, Warlords of Draenor, because that was Garbo, but I remember so many good things from the past because of this one thing, that you're not the champion instantly. Sure, you started to become that in like Mist of Pandaria, pretty much. It felt like, or in Legion, but yeah, that's another reason. Yeah. That's at least what I think.
Number 4, community.
Yes.
So I've talked a lot about the game's design and like that immersive quality of classic WoW's adventure, but MMOs live and die on the anvil of their community, for better or for worse. And that's what I want to talk about right now. So going back to what I was talking about in the first point, you know, classic WoW is an MMORPG. One of the best parts about classic WoW is that it is a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
It's an entire world of people creating stories every day, for better or for worse. Stories of people helping each other out through hard times, or tales of streamers abusing their audiences and crashing servers. Regardless, the classic community has always felt a lot tighter than other MMOs, it seems. All that need for grouping up, all those moments where you want to craft something, but you just need that reagent from another profession that you don't have, and getting a quest that you have to ask for help for, the big confusing world if you're a new player, which leads to you constantly asking in general chat, where the heck is this thing that you're looking for, or where should you go? Going into town and asking the druid to buff you, then the mage, then the priest. All of these subtle ways to get players to socialize or just interact with each other in very small little ways, like just thanking somebody for a, you know, power word fortitude buff or something. Like, this is something that makes the classic WoW community so special. To this day, I still remember the
Yeah, and yeah, that's why. Yeah, with retail, it's not even WoW anymore for me. It's like a cosmetic of Mountcraft is what I usually call it, because that feels what it is. Like, there's cosmetics, there's mounts, and there's achievements. And sure, you can do other things in it, but there's like. And another thing is that the like retail now feels like it's too big. The game feels like it's too big. Like, there's so many contents, so many zones and everything that it's like, sure, you don't need to revisit the old ones. I know a lot of people probably like haven't been into Outland in retail for many years, but it still feels like the game is too big now. Also, that's another reason why I don't like it.
friends I made back in Classic all those years ago, back in 2005 when I first started playing the game. Pyro Mike, Swift Angel, Granak, One Eye, people that I'm never gonna see again. Like, I haven't spoken to these people in years. Like, I don't even know how long it's been. But I'll always remember these people because they were the ones that I quested with and went on adventures with. It. They're just a part of my childhood. And I wouldn't have met these people if Classic WoW wasn't a game with such a community emphasis behind it. Honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I miss playing with. There's a few people that is not around anymore. They died in accidents and stuff, unfortunately. But I mean, there's a lot of people I remember from the past it's like the fun. It's like just fond memories of them and everything.
The community of Classic WoW is incredible, and I think it's the community spirit of Classic which led to us getting Classic re-released back in 2019 in the first place. If it wasn't for this deep love that the Classic WoW community has for each other and for the game, I don't think we would have seen a 2019 re-release, or even these fresh servers that have recently come out. I don't think we would have seen that at all. So
imagine if we wouldn't have gotten the Classic like Classic in 2019. Imagine the sub numbers now. I mean, we have so many games. Like, imagine this: we have retail, we have hardcore, we have Season of Discovery, we have era, we have hardcore era, we have fresh the Classic, and we have fresh hardcore. It's 7 games. And if we're gonna get like a remix, that's 8. And if we have Plunderer, sure, that's not really count though, but if we would do, that's 9. But at least say that we have 7 now. We have 7 we have 7 games now that we are able to play with 1 WoW subscription. If we wouldn't have gotten this, we wouldn't have hardcore, we wouldn't have the Classic era, we wouldn't have like Cataclysm now, or Mr. Pandaria that we have now. We wouldn't have had any of them. Imagine the sub numbers. It wouldn't be that many, I think. I would not play WoW anymore. That's for certain. I would not play it anymore if we wouldn't have gotten Classic. I can 100% say that.
Conclusion, the community element of the game is one of the things that just makes it so special. So why do people love Classic WoW so much? Well, despite it being a dated game, it is a game that really captures the essence of what an MMORPG is supposed to be. It's a game that has impactful, delayed rewards. Not a game that treats you like some child that's always dangling pixels in front of you and always
Instant gratification. That's what it means that the current games, or like mobile games and everything has now. And everything in the world pretty much is like instant gratification now. And the kids that are growing up today, is like when they grow up, it's going to be like if they want something, they can have it delivered to the door, literally. And it's like from different kind of services and everything, DoorDash, all of that. You're able to just with one click and get it, like same day or a couple of days later. But our generation, like I'm a millennial and I'm born 1990, and it's like if I wanted a game, for example, it could take or anything. It would take weeks, months, or even a year before I got something. But now it's like instant, like feeding the brain, all the time, everything.
Is constantly rewarding you with these flashing things like a stupid casino game. No, if you got a new sword, you earned that sword. New robe, you earned that. And it feels great. The world is simpler. You're just an adventurer. You're writing your own story. You're not being told the story. You're not following some linear path. You know, you are making the adventure. And finally, you're not doing that adventure alone. You're a part of a large, living, breathing community that is doing wonderful things together or ripping each other's throats out of their necks. It's these reasons and a whole lot more that Classic WoW is such a beloved game. And if you are somebody playing on the Classic Fresh Realms right now, I hope that you're having a great time.
That was a really, really good video. That was like, I'm agreeing, and sorry for becoming such a long video, but if you stuck up this far, that's amazing. If you started to, like, if you chose to spend 32 minutes with me. But yeah, this was amazing. I really enjoyed this, and very great job of Nixium of making this video as usual. It's been it says 1 month ago, and I've had this in watched later. I have a list of things I want to see, but it's been a month ago, and I didn't want to watch it instantly either. But amazing video. I'm 100% agreeing on everything. And if you click on this video over here, you're gonna it's a link to the original video of Nixium, and also make sure to subscribe and everything to him. I didn't have it on for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm gonna have everything, obviously, and we're gonna like this one. So yeah, until next time, bye bye.